If you haven't been to a township, then you don't really have a true understanding of South Africa. You are still in the dark about a lot of things. Forceful removals between 1955 and 1956, the government decided that they were going to now start forcing people out of the cities and so-called suburban areas. The Apartheid government introduced two laws, the Group Areas Act, the Natives Resettlement Act. These two laws made it illegal in South Africa for multiracial communities to exist. It was justified for them to, without notice, start bulldozing people's houses and resettling people to areas they did not know. Soweto is one of the most famous multiracial sections that we had during apartheid. But unfortunately, they were also hit by these two laws. The color of your skin would determine which direction you were being taken. The natives forcefully removed from Soweto were brought into a part of Soweto which is today known as Meadowlands. Colored people were forcefully removed from Soweto and taken towards Eldorado Park in Noordgesig, which is towards the entrance of Soweto. You look at some of the history books, and when you get to that chapter, you see, we won't move. The people did not want to go, but what they were able to rebuild on kind of made up for what they lost a bit. You know, Soweto is significant because it stood in the front line of resistance and defiance during the era of apartheid. When I was born in exile in Gaborone in Botswana. Both my parents are South African citizens, but unfortunately soon after the 1976 student uprisings, they found themselves having to flee the country in fear of arrest, in fear of murder. So they left the country, they exiled the country, and they got to join up with the underground movement. My father took up military training with the MK. We only came back really as a family in 1990. And the elder have grown with my profession, with tour guiding. The hunger for knowledge and understanding forces you to speak to your elders. In my culture, they always say, indlela ibuzwa kwabaphambili. The elders, the ones who have traveled the road before you, possess the wisdom that can at least help navigate you. Our parents raise us on a fundamental that it's important to forgive, but also important not to forget. If you don't forgive, you hold yourself prisoner to that pain. In forgiving, you free yourself. In not forgetting, we make sure that it does not happen again. So we grow up without animosity because it's almost as if they have turned the other cheek to show us that, hey, it's okay. The misconceptions about townships in Soweto, it saddens me, you know, a lot. More often it's tourists really who frequent the township, and you think to yourself, if someone can come from the other side of the ocean and be brave enough to want to explore, want to learn, then it's a bit shameful for someone who's 15 minutes drive away to have a totally different idea about it. When these travelers come to Soweto and they travel around, their countries of origins aren't written on their forehead. So people can't say, hey, that's German, that's Swedish, that's Finland. People see a person. And people accommodate you as if, hey, that's Jack or John from Aldos or Jack or John from Orange Grove, you know? More than anything, man, it's sad because you see the elders have a different relationship across race, but the young ones now are embracing it. It goes beyond color today. As South Africans, it's not about black, white, Indian or colored, but it's about people. And that's one thing that Soweto somewhat has a foundation of. People coming in from different corners of Africa, people coming in with their different traditions, you know, religions. But once in the township, you have no choice but to coexist. And that coexistence does away with some of the stereotypes that people think still exist in the township. The history is history. It's only up until you come to Soweto that you'll understand that history is important, but more than anything, people want to showcase what Soweto is in a new South Africa, you know. My Soweto is home, is a melting pot, a kombucha, a cocktail of a vibrant lifestyle of fashion, music, of art, consciousness, and people who yesterday were considered less of, but today have the room and capabilities of being anything they want to be, you know. The possibility of Soweto is endless, and thus it makes it a paradise, and the type of paradise you want to showcase, you know what I mean? You want to come see what I have, you know. I've always liked moving with a type of aggression that you get from Soweto. Not a physical, violent aggression, but the type of aggression that makes you proud to be Sowetan, that makes you proud to have the color of the skin that you do have. And that's really it. My Soweto is a place of pride, it's a home, and really a place of self-determination.